Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you are having a fantastic day. Well, unfortunately, some people are not having a fantastic day because they woke up and they're out of a job because a cruise line has just shut down and closed for good. Also, we have a pretty big change coming from Celebrity Cruise Lines. Their adult-only area. Not so adult-only anymore. Today's video is brought to you by Private Internet Access. Well, recently I was on a trip through Brazil and Argentina, and guess what? The second I landed, I started getting all these emails and text messages on my phone saying that my bank account had been frozen because of suspicious activity, or my credit cards were no longer usable, and to click all these links. And then was I panicking? Was I panicking? No. Because I use a VPN. And I know every single one of these are just a scam. And so I had my own peace of mind because a VPN basically hides your identity, it hides your location, so people can't figure out where you are and lock into your personal information. It hides your IP address from all those hackers out there that want to steal your bank account information and your personal information. And why did I choose Private Internet Access over everybody else? Well, they have a no-log policy, which means they don't even keep my personal information. And that's been proven in court by a third-party audit. And that's exactly what I want from a VPN. I don't want anybody to store my personal information. Not only that, your plan doesn't cover just one device or 3 devices or 5 devices. You can cover unlimited devices under the exact same plan. So if you'd like peace of mind like I do, why not follow my link below and get 83% off your subscription plus 4 months free. Thanks again to Private Internet Access for sponsoring this video. So unfortunately, some people woke up this morning without having a job because American Queen Cruise Lines, a riverboat cruise line here in North America, has closed their doors for good. It popped up on notices at their headquarters in Fort Lauderdale, as well as on the website for agents and on the phone line if you were to call in, stating that they will no longer be accepting any future cruises and businesses is officially shut down at this moment. And basically those folks, unfortunately, are out of a job. Now, as far as the cruise passengers are concerned who have deposits or have paid for a cruise coming up this spring or in the future, you can get your money back according to the cruise line. Now, any cruise line operating in North America has to have adequate protection and insurance and money to cover the cost of all money owed to passengers in case something like this happens. It's a law here in North America. If you operate from North America, you have to have this in place. So you can actually put your claim into www.aqvrefunds.com, and if you need some more information, you can get that at www.aqvinfo.com if you happen to be one of the passengers. Now, they run 4 cruise ships currently, and most notably is their largest paddle wheel boat ever built, the American Queen. It's like an iconic feature on the rivers, but unfortunately, unless somebody else picks it up and purchases these ships, we won't be seeing this ship going around this year. And again, very sad news for everybody. It's not great when this happens. You got to think right now that with the boom in the cruising industry right now, like I'm looking at cabins in November and December on ships and there's none left. There's like choice of 3 balconies on an entire ship. It's crazy how fast sailings are being sold out this year on everybody. The Carnival, Norwegian, Princess, Holland, Royal, it doesn't matter. It just seems to be everybody wants to get on a cruise ship, as it seems to be one of the more affordable vacations still, even though the prices have been rising. And the company has come out themselves and said that the reason that they're shutting down is they were unable to secure finances at a reasonable rate of interest. In other words, the banks were trying to gouge them like they are gouging everybody else, right? Mortgage prices are through the roof compared to what they were just 2 years ago. And some people's mortgages here in Canada have gone up 90% in 2 years. And I guess the cruise lines, when you're doing financing during this time, are experiencing the exact same problem. And if you're not a cruise line like Carnival and Royal, who have buying power and big, huge assets, it's harder to get even more financing for them. So again, sad news, American Queen Cruise Line has shutting their doors. Next, we also have a change coming to Celebrity Cruises adults only area. Now, if you go on a celebrity cruise, they have an area called the solarium. And it's a covered area indoor with pools, hot tubs. They have lounge chairs. It's a nice, quiet, relaxing. They don't blare the music in there. It's a very subdued area. A lot of people go in there to read, just relax and sail away the day. It's a big covered dome, shall we say. It keeps you out of the weather as well, if it's raining, if it's too hot, etc. Well, that is an area that is for no one over the age of 16 is allowed in that area. Well, that's about to change. In fact, it's changing as of today, because Celebrity Cruise Line has announced that on some sailings, children under the age of 16 will be allowed into this area during certain times of day. They're opening it up to kids, saying that, to be fair to our families that are traveling with younger children and everything on colder climates, they will have a chance to use an indoor pool area for the children, which in theory sounds like a good idea. Their times that they're choosing is between 5 and 7 p.m., which tends to also be early dining, which a lot of adults tend to do with families, is to have early dining. So that's kind of a weird time to be doing it, as opposed to, say, let's have the kids have fun at 10 o'clock in the morning to noon or whatever. But this is probably going to rub some people the wrong way while making it happy for others. Parents with children are going to say, well, finally, we have a place to go with our children. If it's cold and we can't use the outdoor pools and everything, we can finally bring our kids and let them play in an indoor area. That sounds great. Now, this is only for sailings in places like Antarctica, Alaska. Cold weather is what they're saying. However, if I'm on a transatlantic cruise and it's chilly out, how many times are they going to say, well, we're going to open up that pool today because it's cold and they can't use the outdoor pool? Now, they are saying the Med and the Caribbean, they won't have these hours on those ships. But again, it's subject to change, right? Is it the call of each individual cruise ship and the hotel director, etc., on each individual sailing to say, yes, it's cold today, no, it's not cold today? Or is it going to be a strict ban, only these ships, only these sailings, and only this time? Here's another issue that some other passengers are going to have. Again, that's an adult-only area that is specifically, especially in a celebrity cruise line, is geared towards adults more than children. They have a nice kids club and stuff like that, but with all the luxury suites and everything, the retreat and places like that, it is geared toward a more adult-oriented audience. And how many people will be pleased that if they want to go to the pool at 6:30 at night, that there's going to be children running around and playing there? Also, how strict are they going to enforce those times? If a family of 6 show up at 4:40, 20 minutes before 5 o'clock, are they going to stop them from entering, saying you can't enter right now, you got to stand there for 20 minutes? Or 7 o'clock comes along and the family's there with their children, they're playing, the adults have a drink sitting beside the bar and the kids are in the pool playing. How many times are they going to go up and say, sorry, you have to leave now, right? Will that go on till 7:20, 7:30? Who's going to stretch that time to see how long it takes for them to actually kick the kids out of that adult-only area? That's where this precedent comes in, right? It seems that you have to hold these things very, very strict. It's a deadline, and you have to have your crew enforce that. We see all kinds of rules on cruise ships right now that aren't enforced, right? Lounge chair hogs. People who put stuff on the lounge chairs at 6 o'clock in the morning and don't go to those lounge chairs by the pool until like 10 or 11 o'clock. Yet they're still there. They're supposed to be taken away and kept by the crews. How many cruise ships are actually doing that? There's all kinds of things like that. People talking in the theaters, disrupting the shows. How many times do you see anybody escorted out of a theater for making too much noise? You don't see it because they don't enforce these rules. And this is one more change that they're supposed to enforce rules. How many times will they? If somebody shows up at 6 o'clock and is already in the pool splashing, is a staff member going to walk up and say, sorry, you have to get out now and come back in an hour? I have a feeling they're not going to do that. And I have a feeling they're going to have a lot of disgruntled passengers who are upset that they went to an adult quiet area and found children splashing around and having fun, as children will do. And some people will say, well, they're just kids having fun. Yeah, but you're going to an area specifically designed and has always been an area of quiet and peaceful relaxation. And by throwing children who are not going to sit there and read, they're going to have fun, you're changing the environment. Well, let me know in the comments down below, what do you think? Do you think this is a good idea by celebrity, or should they have just left well enough alone and said, yeah, we're going to keep it an adults-only area? And maybe on the next design of ships, design an area with a covered pool for the children families as well, if it seems to be that important. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.